Gentlemen, thanks for joining us today on RegWatch. You two and the store you own are plaintiffs in this case, in the lawsuit against Nova Scotia's war on vaping. Bill, why don't we start with you? Tell us a little bit about your shop and why you got involved in this lawsuit.
Yeah, and thank you, Brent. So our shop, we've been established in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia for about 3 years now. We've had a great success as a company, as a part of the community here. We had our chance to speak to the government. We went in, we sat in the legislation. We had petitions, I think nearly 10,000 names signed on either postcards or on actual petitions. The government listened to us, and they took nothing away from that. They decided to pass the motion to ban the flavors. And then they added the 20 milligram cap after the fact. And then after that, they implemented the 50 cents per milliliter tax, which, as far as it goes, it's the most regulation you could have without actually banning vaping.
So, Ryan, let me ask you this. Would you agree with the statement that there is a war on vaping by the province of Nova Scotia?
There's absolutely a war on vaping. Our industry tried, to be heard. We tried to be involved in the regulations and stuff like that when they were being made. The government didn't want to hear anything from us. They kind of went ahead and made these regulations on their own without our input. And, in our opinion, went extremely overboard with the regulations to the point where, this is going to cause many, many people to go back to cigarettes simply because, the taxes and stuff like that have been implemented have, probably doubled or tripled the cost for a vapor, over cigarettes.
Bill, you've been involved in advocacy around vaping for quite some time. I mean, how do you characterize the province's approach to this product and the consumers who use it?
They like to pretend that we don't exist. Like they turned a blind eye to us entirely.
So, gentlemen, if the province is not listening to you, I mean, what recourse then is there? I know that this lawsuit has been filed. We're talking about it today in the show. Could you fill us in a little bit about why you joined this lawsuit?
We've tried every other avenue. Like, obviously, we didn't want to do this. We didn't want to be here. Yeah. We ultimately just wanted the province to work with us, with our industry, to, come to a
mutual agreement.
Yeah, mutual agreement on regulations that were good for everybody. That's all we're looking for. We're not fighting for no regulations, or we're not fighting for any of that. We just want what's fair.
Yeah.
And, they kind of put us in this position where they've left us no choice. That's why we're here.
Tell us about the lawsuit. How did this get organized? How's it getting funded? Who are you working with to promote it?
The lawsuit's being funded by many different companies, people, shop owners, wholesalers right across Canada. We have a GoFundMe running. That's raised about, I think the current GoFundMe is at about 107,000. We had a small GoFundMe before that raised 27 or so. So we're sitting in the 134 range right now. Estimated legal costs for this are going to be around 200, possibly up to 250. We're not sure. It's just an estimation at this point. So we still need to raise money. That has to happen. Ultimately, whatever doesn't get raised is going to be on us and our company. And, that would be the end of us if all this goes through and we fail and, nothing else comes from any other sources. Our company will fold on the spot. We would have no choice.
What kind of support have you received from the advocacy organizations, VITA, Canadian Vaping Association, and so forth?
CVA has been great.
Yeah, CVA has been really great.
Daryl Tempest, awesome guy. He's always been there, organizing the rallies. And he's really helped us with a lot of the legal jargon. He's been working one-on-one with the lawyers. I can't say enough good things about the guy, really.
They've obviously dealt with some of this stuff a few years ago in Quebec So they have a ton of experience with this, and they've helped us a lot by dealing with our lawyers and stuff like that as well. So, all the stuff that's going on in the background with the lawyers is not just me and Bill. It's actually the CVA a lot more than me and Bill. So
and Sam and Taryn.
Yeah, like just all of them. Jody, like they've just been really good. They've provided so much more information, so many more tools and stuff like that for our lawyers and our legal team to fight this with that we wouldn't have had before. So, I definitely would like to give a huge shout out to the CVA.
Oh yeah, big time.
That's good. Good to know, because there was so much work that's gone on in Quebec, and we're talking about Quebec a lot right now because, of course, there's an appeal, and there's also all the precedents though that were set in Quebec that hopefully are going to not have to reinvent the wheel in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's essentially what we're doing today too. Like this, and people across this country need to understand this. We are attempting to set a precedence in Nova Scotia. If we can do that, PEI already has a flavor ban set for March 1st, if I'm correct.
That's correct.
Yeah. So if we can kill this in Nova Scotia, in the Nova Scotia court systems, we will set a precedent for the rest of the country as well. If we can beat this flavor ban here, this will be a huge tool for any other province that attempts to ban flavors. We're not just fighting for Nova Scotia here. We're fighting for Canada. So
that is true. Dominoes fall. They tend to fall together, and very quickly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is correct.
How does it make you feel to know that your provincial government is trying to kill you?
That is a loaded question.
Yeah.
Is it demoralizing? For one, is it demoralizing? Two, is it putting you out of business?
Well, it's super demoralizing on a few levels. To see all these people that have, successfully gotten off combustible tobacco using vaping. And we have customers that, some customers pick up a vape and, 3-4 months later, they come back and they've dropped their nicotine levels down significantly. And, 3-4 months after that, they come back, they're on a 0, and then they're quitting, and it's that's success for us. And then on a business level, it's definitely demoralizing. We built a great business here from scratch.
And Bill, how about you? I mean, disenchanted with the province?
It's a love-hate relationship. I love this province. I love the people. I love the community that we're in here. And honestly, really everyone that we talk to kind of has this. It's a consensus that it's poor decision making on the side of the government that's brought us to this position.
Yeah, you'll hear a saying around here, and I've heard it multiple times from many different industries, where people say, Nova Scotia's closed for business. There's already not a lot going on here in this province in terms of jobs. So it's really difficult.
Yeah.
This province needs to try and save as many jobs as we can, because people are just going to turn around and leave, not because they want to, because they have to.
Let me ask you guys as we wrap here as the last question. I'll start with you, Ryan, and then Bill, I'll let you answer this. And are you going to win this thing?
Obviously, listen, we're all in at this point. We have no choice. So we need to take this as far as we can possibly go until, we can't go anymore. We have to win this. We don't, there's no other option at this point. So we are super confident. Our lawyers, have looked at this. They're very convinced that we have a strong case. We've had other lawyers look at it as well. The ones that were involved in the Quebec case and stuff like that, and they also agree that we have a very strong case. If we didn't have a very strong case, we probably wouldn't be going after it.
If we don't win this, it really makes you question how many civil liberties and rights we have left as people. I mean, this is it's restricting access to harm reduction, and as Canadians, we have a right to harm reduction. So I really have faith that we'll win. But I mean,
it feels like we have to win just because we know that it's wrong, and because of that, it feels like we have to win. It just feels like,
Well,
if we
don't.
didn't, something is seriously wrong with
the system.
the
for
system.
sure.
Yeah, you know, and we just hope that the system works the way it should, and if that happens, we will win.